Hello guys, today I would like to discuss the grips. It is a very important part of the game, and the reason is every grip that you pick is going to define the type of shots that you are able to hit. Reason is the trajectory of your ball is affected by the angle at which you strike the ball. So with that being said, we're going to cover every single most commonly used grip in the game. So the very first grip that everybody learns with is the continental grip. Okay, think of it as holding a hammer and hitting a nail on the head. Okay, it's the most commonly used grip when people start because they don't really have any feel for all the different types of positions on the handle. So continental grip is great for volleys as well because you can go to the right or to the left without really switching anything and still be very efficient at the net. The second grip that we're going to go over is the Eastern forehand, and what you want to do is go from bevel position number 1 to bevel position number 2. This would be the side edge of your racket, and what you notice automatically is that your racket is slightly facing flat now, okay? And what that's good for is, of course, flat shots. One to remember would be Jimmy Connors, and anybody that hit tennis shots really flat would be using an Eastern forehand grip. Okay, it's also very good for slicing. Okay, so we're going to switch over one more position to position number 3, which would be semi-western. And this is today the most commonly used grip. It's the modern way to hit. Okay, people use the semi-western grip a lot because they have the flexibility to hit with a very heavy topspin and flatten their shots as they move up and down the tennis court. So try to keep that in mind. The semi-western grip is really the grip that you want to hone in on because it's going to help you to have just quite a wide range of use. Then as you get more and more extreme, you can go to the to the western grip, which is very extreme. It's a grip that people that want to hit with a very heavy topspin tend to rely on. The problem with that is it's so far out to the outside of your hexagon that going back to the middle really takes kind of a lot of time. Okay, so people that have a very extreme grip that way usually don't do so well at the net because the time that it takes them to get back to the middle is pretty long. Okay, it's good for people who play a lot on clay court. Reason is, they tend to be baseliners and stay back at the baseline and hit heavy topspin and rely on their opponents making mistakes. I am not one to choose what grip you should use, but I can only tell you that each grip really defines the type of player that you're going to be. And the players that seem to really be doing very well nowadays are players that use a semi-western grip. So then, it's up to you to choose. As far as the backhand is concerned, we go through exactly the same progression. Okay, you have bevel number 1, positioned straight down the middle like a hammer, and then you're going to go to Eastern backhand, which is bevel number 2, but to the left. Okay, and that one too, as you see, is helping you to hit flat shots or slice shots. Okay, as you switch again to bevel number 3 on the left side, now you're in a semi-western backhand grip, which is also very good for topspin. Equally, as popular as on the forehand side, very commonly used nowadays. And then you have the western one, of course, which is also very extreme. I would not recommend that on the backhand side or the forehand side for the simple reason that it really limits your ability to move up and down the court, and it essentially keeps you as a baseliner. Good to use if you're defending, not so good if you're trying to attack. So, to keep it really simple, clean and simple, instead of remembering, continental, Eastern forehand, semi-western, and western, you can really just divide, those bevels into 4 positions. And remember that those 4 positions apply to the right and also apply to the left. So position number 1 is continental, okay? Position number 2 is Eastern forehand, position number 3, semi-western, and position number 4 is western. As long as you remember 1, 2, 3, 4 and have, a way to kind of move your hand along the grip, knowing exactly where those positions are on the right and on the left, you've essentially mastered the grips.